you.
Yeah.
We've done this for years now, and there have been video series before this.
Well, that's because we've done nothing for years now, and it's always going to be that way.
Yeah. And so I guess one question is why are we doing this?
We're doing it because it's needed. There'd be no other purpose to do it. The need arises because people are continually suffering their neuroses, which means that in the face of all the answers that are spread about, these answers are not reaching deep enough, so we have a right to try to go deeper, as nature would have it that way, go deeper. So we must persist in going deeper, and some people are reached by the relative deepness of what is being said and taught here, as everyone has their time and space for questioning, inquiring into the mystery of why they're here, who they're supposed to be with, what are they supposed to do to keep themselves integrated in the moment. These are ongoing questions and ongoing processes in the case of all living beings. Why? What? Where? When? How? And so on. And for those that are most advanced, the deeper they go, the lighter the journey, the clearer what needs to be done shows up on the mind, in the heart, and in the field. So we pursue, without which there'd be no Dharma. If Ananda didn't ask the Buddha questions, there'd be no Dhamma. If Subhuti did not ask the Buddha questions, there'd be no Dhamma. So you have to ask them why the questions. And if you hear the answers properly, you know why they're asking questions and why the answers are coming out the way they come out. It could be said that every moment is a new condition, a new world. In 1 second and one other second, beings are being born and beings are being terminated. So every moment is precious. And related to that, every word is precious. So if it's coming from that place where preciousness is acknowledged as the basis for what is happening, come in. It could be said that those who are in touch with this sense of holy or sacred preciousness, of being, that is the answer. That dissolves the question. How do you function from the preciousness of being? If there's such a thing, with clarity, dignity, balance, equality, joyousness, compassion, understanding, wisdom, peace, sense of truth, or pure being, no karma, only light, the preciousness of being, the insight of the preciousness of being, the meditation on the preciousness of being.
In our culture, when something is precious, it's almost assumed that that which is precious should be clung to tacitly, if not actually.
Well, the sun is precious, but you can't cling to it. The breath is precious, but you can't do anything about it. The being is precious, but what do you make of it? The love is precious, the heart is precious, but how do you manage that? So there's that level of preciousness which you can't do anything with it. It's a heart pure recognition, cognition of the reality at hand. This is precious. Not the space, the moment is precious. And for those beings who have been in bad ways, so to speak, who recover from bad ways and have this moment, they know for real the preciousness of the moment of peace. The preciousness of the moment as bliss. The preciousness of the moment as wisdom lost, wisdom found. Heart lost, heart found. See? Awareness lost, awareness found. See? Practice lost, practice found. Materialism equates with a degree of selfishness, self-building, self-cherishing, self-limiting. Perceptions, beliefs, programs, and functioning with a sacred purpose for beginners. On the road to material success. See? Social accomplishments, and so on. Worldliness has a pleasure, see, as a discovery, and for some new spirits as a world of purpose. As material self-building, world of purpose. That creates its own universe. In duality, as duality. And thus as self-division. Mind split. Heart split. Body split. This side, that side, this point, this point, this and that, here and gone, going deeper, as spiritual vibrations, and lightness, and heart-opening resonance with more than just self, but then with otherness. Step on the path from self to otherness. See? A phase of expansion, embracing more. See? Seeing more, hearing more, perceiving more, experiencing more. Ultimately, learning more. See? Learning more of what the bigger picture is beyond materialistic self-imprisonment. Yes. And what heart-opening spiritual revelation is about as we progress deeper and deeper, not merely into the mysteries of the universe. But the practice of heart, openness, not just others, but the planet, not just this planet, but the solar system, not just the solar system, but the galaxy, not just this galaxy, but the universe as a whole. Wide open. No questions, no answers, just as it is, present. Boom. Poof. We can't settle at a plane. We can't settle for the level. We can't settle for the mind as such, thinking about this or just that. There's no breathing room in that attitude. If it's this and that relative to the image in the mirror of self, there's no happiness there. That self is not enough, so it begs for other, which is also not enough, actually. There's no other who is enough. The other who is enough is the total. Who understands that? Who can grasp that fact of living? The concept of the spiritual equates with the expansion of awareness. Moving beyond the finite into the space of the infinite. The bridge to which is full embrace of what is inside form, outside form, inside formlessness, and outside formlessness. If the meditation and preoccupation is too much on the finite, there's pain and suffering. Breathing is limited. Intelligence is gravitated. It's all about the inhale, taking in. There needs to be the exhale, expanding outwards into the infinite. Release. Pain, suffering, preoccupation with anything, or even everything, all gone. Into peace, light, well-being, harmony. Grace is finally your space at last. Self-healed, dissolved, melted into original heart, open. Healing. Gone. Gone to rest. In the emptiness of the practice of light to light, heart to heart, sound to silence, Silence to sound. If one dares to open to this sense of spaciousness, pain and suffering disappear. They have no place in this space. And the heat of this space melts the material into ethereal reality. Which is often interpreted as compassionate nature, outflow, radiance, right, being, expanse, unfoldment, right? And then realization. Primordial, original realization of being itself. Thought creates openness and creates closeness. Concepts create openness and they create closeness, uptightness. For openness, one should turn to thoughts of expanse. All beings, all states, all worlds, all universes, into one-heartedness. Just heart, open heart nature. Full heart nature. Breathing into relaxation in the spirit of realizing full heart nature. The peace of full heart, completely restful nature. Opening steadily, realizing peace and lightness of being. Just breathing. In and simply relaxedly exhaling. Out all stress, tension, concerns, and suffering, all gone. Creating the space of refreshment and regeneration, renewal, resurrection, potential possibility. And realization. Just realization now. Into peace. Open into expansion. Unfoldment. Awakeness. Every situation tests your wisdom response. Mhm. And sometimes that wisdom has to be sharp and cutting, and sometimes it has to be soft and yielding. Mhm. Who knows in the moment? Mhm. 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 So even in the midst of this stillness of being here all together, there's actually the fact of moving forward in time. Mm. Mm. Or maybe moving backwards in time. But the movement is there, you're approaching your death. So there is time, but how much time to settle the score? From what is carried over or left over from unfinished former life business? No. Time to waste? Time to practice? Time to cut through obstructions and self-created lethargy? The path must be cleared. If it is not a clear path, you must clear the path.
So clearing the path, putting to rest, does the process...
Same thing.
Is it different in every situation, or is there a fundamental...
Well, your response is different in every situation. See? Maybe your response needs to be even more different in every situation, depending on what the self or the individual determines as the momentum to be achieved, see? Or the sense of goingness that is missing, that needs to be accomplished. Sense of movement, forward motion, if that is what is intended for the individual. Feeling of cutting through, traveling, going on, moving on, which is more important. Moving on for most people. Moving on is already the case, but it's not conscious. Because there's waiting, there's always waiting is always the case, but that needs to be turned into conscious movement onward. See? That takes a little bit of openness and vision, so on. Tomorrow I'm going to be here. The next day I'm going to be here. And the next day I'm going to be there. See, with full intention of accomplishing. See, that. Have to do that. Because the impetus of and let's say the movement, see, that comes with the urge to create makes it so. The urge to be free is equal to the urge to create. They may be the same. That makes it important to have that sense of unstuckness, openness to moving beyond and proving oneself as a wise one, fearless wise one. Because even the greatest of the warriors hold apprehension. So, well, we don't know what's coming around the bend. The storm looks bad. Sounds terrible. But we don't know what's going to happen. But we're moving forward anyway, because that's the best way to know. So, let's move forward into it. Get through it. Confidently. Put the matter to rest. Sometimes the only beautiful is the ugly. Sometimes the only way is the no way. Sometimes the only one is the no one. Who can see beyond appearances to know what is true and be with that? for what it's really worth. Mhm. Mhm. There is the possibility of sharing the Dhamma, but the Dhamma shares itself when you're living it. Mhm. You have to live the Dhamma. Let the Dhamma do the sharing. Mhm. You don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to hand anything to anybody. Just breathe the Dhamma. And it does what it has to do. As a presence. As the wind. As sound. As light. As freshness. As all-penetrating fire. As silent fire. Be happy is being Dhamma. Being detached is being Dhamma. Being selflessly compassionate is being Dhamma. That's the way. Being silent is being Dhamma. And yet, speech is Dhamma. Body is Dhamma. Mind is Dhamma. Life is Dhamma. So what is there to teach? It's everywhere. It's all there is. Good luck. And the teaching takes on all forms. It could be the blink of an eye, right? It could be a gesture of any form. Could be a word, doesn't have to be. Could be in the form of a book, doesn't have to be in the form of a sound. The Dhamma is. So then isness is the Dhamma. But who can perceive or realize isness as isness? To know what isness as Dhamma is. So it's safe to say that Dhamma is reality. And realization of reality is the Dhamma. Realizing itself. And then we have its effect called who knows. That's it, the effect of it. Who? Is one being the master they're supposed to be of this life now? Is one being mastered by karma in this life? No. Must one be mastered by karma in this life now? Or must one master the karma of this life now?